You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. This is a really good passage, and even if I'm just reading it to you right now, I myself am encouraged. We'll be going deep into this passage by giving a short background about the book itself, the context of this passage, and I have 3 points on how we can apply it. So if you're up for that, then stay tuned. Hello friends and family, and if it's your first time here, welcome. Let's start with the background of the book of Matthew. This book is one of the 4 Gospels. Of course, Matthew was the one who wrote this book, and he was one of the disciples. It focuses on the 3.5-year ministry of Jesus and his death and resurrection. As for chapter 5, the timing was when Jesus was giving the Sermon on the Mount, which does start in chapter 5, and it goes all the way to chapter 7. In Matthew 5 verse 1, he says, "Seeing the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and when he sat down, his disciples came to him, and he opened his mouth and taught them." With what I know, this is the most popular sermon that Jesus gave, and it covers a lot of practical topics that are important even in our present time. Just proves that the Bible is timeless, right? For right now though, we're going to be studying this one. Now, my question to you is, if you would have seen someone turn on a light and then hide it somewhere and just leave it there, what would you think of that person? If you ask me, I would think that the person was weird. Why would he waste his electricity? I'm just saying. And it's just like us. We are the light of the world, just like this verse says. And as I share some points today, I've chosen words related to light. Let me just tell you though that I'm not a science geek, but I hope I get this message across at the least. The first one is refract. When light refracts, it changes direction. First, when we get to know Christ in a personal way, our lives are changed. Some people would see that we're not the same person as we used to be. Sometimes they would even make fun of us or try to snap us out of it. But our focus becomes different. A person that I can think of from the Bible who went through this is Apostle Paul. He used to be a persecutor of Christians, and even as he was on his way to Damascus to put followers of the way in chains, God met him. In Acts 22 verse 6, it says, "A great light from heaven suddenly shone around me." And this is Paul speaking. After his encounter with God, he was never the same. He shared the gospel and he planted churches in a lot of places around Asia. And in 2 Corinthians 5:17 it says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come." As Apostle Paul had an encounter, we can also encounter Christ, and we can change direction in our lives. Next is radiate. Radiate means to send out waves. We're not only transformed from within, but our purpose changes too. I just watched a reel on social media where there was a relatively young lady. She was in her late 20s, and this lady was saying that she's single and she can do whatever she wants without thinking of any kids. She can stay up till 1 a.m. and not worry about babysitters or baby poop. Though being single itself and enjoying it is not bad, but if we resent marriage and we just want to focus on ourselves throughout our lives, that's something that's questionable. We're living in a society that's becoming more and more me-centered, and it's our nature to be selfish. But as believers, may we be different. May we have joy in serving others. May we let our light shine on others. Next is reflect Christ. When people see our changed lives, or lives that are growing wiser and more purposeful as time goes, when people see how we serve and how we walk or we talk, our hope is that they'd be curious with the reason why we are how we are. I'll share a bit of my story. I'm sure a lot of us have gone through trials, and one of mine was my health. While I was going through the whole ordeal, I didn't really share it on social media. What I would post would be pictures of me with blonde hair, and of course that was a wig, and people thought that looked awesome. But when I overcame the disease, that's when I shared my testimony on my social media feed. The message that I loved the most among the people that did send me messages was from a college friend that DM'd me. And she said that because of the testimony that I shared, she became curious. She went to church for the first time in a while. And during that time she was there, she came to Christ. And that is a friend that I've prayed for so long, even when we were still in college. But it was through a light that she saw. By God's grace, it was through my testimony. And that's a challenge for all of us. 1 Peter 2 verse 9 says this, "For you are a chosen people, you are royal priests, a holy nation, God's very own possession. As a result, you can show others the goodness of God, for He called you out of the darkness into His wonderful light." I pray that we would all have the desire to have lives that reflect Christ through our testimonies. And if you want to hear more of my testimony, here are a few of them on this playlist. Or you can check out this video here that might interest you. If you were blessed by this video, give it a like. It helps spread this message to more people. If you like more content like this, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Our hope and future is in Jesus. See you in the next video.